Hello and welcome to Rock Sport. I'm Gerry McLaughlin. I have with me Craig Peacock from the Braehead Clan. Thanks for coming in. Very much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
So you're from the Braehead Clan. I'm all branded up myself as well. But we're here for the launch of Rock Sport Radio. Are you obviously you're a big sports fan, but are you a big rock music fan, or are you just a big music fan?
I'm a big music fan in general, but yeah, rock music, it makes an appearance in our dressing room usually before games. You know.
Yeah, I've heard. There's some pretty interesting tunes come out. What's the main style of music that comes out of the Braehead Clan dressing room?
I don't think we just have one genre.
No.
And it depends who the DJ is as well. So.
Who's the current DJ now in the Braehead Clan dressing room?
It was Barry McKenzie, but he got sacked.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why was he sacked? That sounds pretty brutal. It's quite a drastic thing to happen early in the season.
He would throw out a good song, but then follow it up with something terrible. And
right, consistency.
Yeah, no consistency. Yeah.
So what kind of things do the guys like to listen to? Because in previous years, I know another man wearing the A on his jersey was Scott Arson, and he seemed to take on that role of godfather of music in the dressing room. But it was a lot of country.
Yeah.
The Canadians like their country, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, you're half Canadian as well. So
I am,
but
I don't mind country music, but it doesn't get me going before a game. Like,
no. Singing about your truck and your beer,
yeah,
and you've got to go out and slam someone into the plexiglass.
Yeah.
So what would you go for?
Probably like rock, maybe some dance. So something like upbeat and fast and good beat to it. But yeah, we get quite a bit of rock music make an appearance, and dance. Country sneaks its way in there every now and then, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll know if you've taken over like the control of the music, if the guys are zipping around the ice Peacock's had his dance music on before they've gone. No, it should be pretty good. You were here at the launch, like we said. You've been meeting some interesting other sports people. Who have you been talking to here today? There's a sports people and women from all over Glasgow.
Yeah, I was talking to Amy. She is in karate.
We picture her up there as well.
Yeah,
that would definitely be a penalty in hockey.
That would.
Certainly a high kicking.
She had said that karate is going into the Olympics, the next Summer Olympics. So that's quite interesting, pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see if she gets it. The Hamilton Aki guys, the football guys, were just kind of chatting and speaking about our schedules and, you know, how often you practice, how many games you play. And I think all the kind of sports people we spoke to were shocked that we seem to play Saturday and Sunday on a weekend, and it's not just one game. So, but no, it was interesting seeing all the different sports people here.
It must be really interesting talking to other sports people, because you're in a similar world, but there'll be little different kind of things that are quite key as well. Like, do you know other kind of people in the world of sport as well? You'll have other interests other than ice hockey.
Yeah, I mean, I follow sport in general. I love all sport. If there's any sport on TV, I'm probably going to watch it. That's mainly what's on my telly all the time. So it's just really interesting finding out their schedules. You know, the football guys, they were off today, and I was like, that'd be nice to be off on a Thursday, but Monday's our day off, so they say they're sort of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, get Thursday off, Friday, play Saturday. And we're Tuesday through Friday, and then play Saturday, Sunday, and one day off. So it's a
busy schedule in terms of taking up your days. I mean, you grew up originally in Peterborough, but obviously you came to Glasgow from Belfast. Have you taken up different sports in those areas? You know, you say you're interested in various different sports, but like for example, in Belfast, did you start watching any kind of hurling and Gaelic football or anything like that? Or rugby as well is obviously big up there as well.
Yeah, I think rugby was about the only one. We used to go to the Ulster rugby games, and then we actually met a few of the guys and got friendly with some of their players. So it was interesting to meet them and see their schedule, and their workload sounds a little heavier than ours. But yeah, it was cool. We went to a few of the rugby games I was here on. I really got into though when I was over there.
Because you were in Belfast for a really long time as well, and you met your partner over there, Megan, as well. Was it quite a difficult thing to leave Belfast? You must have been so used to it, like a second home, really.
Yeah, it was. It was different. Obviously, it's going to be hard to leave somewhere when you've been there for 7 years. But for me, the time was right. I just needed a change in my career, and Braehead came at the right time, and it was the right opportunity, and I've enjoyed my time here since.
Did you ever get the Northern Irish accent down?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think you're going to get the Glasgow accent down?
That one's harder.
It's yet another notch on the dial, I think, isn't it? But have you settled into Glasgow? What kind of? I mean, people often say that Belfast and Glasgow are quite very similar cities in many ways. Have you found that as well?
Yeah, I have. You know, the people they're all great. Everyone's really friendly. Same as Belfast, people are very friendly. So that was one of the first things I noticed when I came to Glasgow. And then just the size of it took me by surprise before I signed. The team flew me over to come check everything out, and we were driving around Glasgow. And I was just looking around. I had no idea of the size of the city. So and there's so much to do. You know, so many bars, so many restaurants. When Megan comes over, we make a point of trying to go to a different restaurant every time that she's over. So It's pretty fun to do that.
People listening might not realise, but yourself and Megan were quite the glamour couple really in Belfast, weren't they? You were the posh and Becks of the Belfast sports scene.
Well, I don't know if you could say that.
Well, I am saying it now, and I've said it, and it's out there. But it's an interesting kind of thing to kind of then move over to a different place after 7 years. But how have you enjoyed the arena as well? Obviously, a different in terms of size. I think Belfast is 7,000 seater its capacity, but Clan a much smaller arena, but a very different sound because of that as well. Did you really notice the difference in that closeness of the fan base? 3,500 fans, but full.
Yeah.
How did that kind of compare for you?
I love it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've never played. I remember the first Braehead Fife game I played in at home, and we played them early on last season, and the noise and the atmosphere in there, just chanting the whole game, and it was incredible. And I was so jacked up for the game, like just from hearing the atmosphere from the fans. And that's one thing I really do love about Braehead. You know, all the fans, they're all really nice people. Just to talk to outside of the rink as well when you bump into them and stuff, they're all really nice. But the atmosphere they create in Braehead is something special. I haven't seen anything else like that in the Elite League. I know teams are always, we have the best fans, but in Braehead, I truly believe that, because the noise that comes out of that, 3,500, 4,000 people is just, it's something else, and they get behind you and it gives you an extra edge on the ice.
So now we know when sports people say they're the best fans in the league, unless you say, I actually believe that they're the best fans in the league, they need that qualifier at the start for it to be true. Yeah. No, but it's been a really, you've now worked under two coaches at Braehead Clan, so we've had Ryan Finnity's era as well, and it was him that brought you over, and you said he showed you around Glasgow, but John Tripp's come in. How different a character is John to you? What are the coaches like? How would you, it's unfair to ask you, but how would you compare them? I'm going to ask you anyway.
It's kind of hard. John's old school kind of in a way. I would say, and he's been in Germany for a long time, and he's brought that sort of mentality that they have over there, and I think it's a good thing it's instilled into our team. He expects us to work hard every day. Not saying that Finna didn't. Finna obviously wanted us to work hard too, but John's big on us working hard, our fitness and things like that, and skating, and wants us to be a fast team, and that's the way the game's going now. It's all sort of based on skating, so he puts it on us a lot that he wants us to be good skaters, and we practice that a lot during the week, and we're in the gym a lot, making sure we're keeping our fitness levels up, and I think it's starting to pay off. We had a bit of a slow start to the season, but you can see that this is a really good team. We've got some really good players, and I think the last 2-3 weeks have shown that. Yeah,
it's an interesting one as well that came up. We recently did an interview with Mike Embach as well, your forward teammate. I didn't realise that you guys had already met previously as well. We mentioned you've got Canadian heritage, your dad's Canadian, but you were over in Canada and played at a youth level. It's quite unusual for that to happen over in the UK. When did you realise that was the case?
We were rooming together on the road. I can't remember, it was one of the first weekends of the season, but we were talking away, and he was just sort of asking where I played when I was younger, obviously playing Canada, and it was when I was playing in America. And I told him the team, and he's like, I remember that. And I was like, yeah, we used to play in the Midwest League, and we used to play against Chicago teams and Team Illinois. And he's like, no way. And then we figured it out, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we used to play each other when we were 17 years old, but obviously didn't really figure it out until we're sitting there in the room with each other. So that was pretty cool and pretty interesting. And hockey's such a small world that pretty much every time we sign somebody new, they know somebody that I know that you've played with, and so there's always a connection there. But it was pretty funny to find out that me and Mike used to play against each other when we were 17. It's
been an interesting season. It was a difficult start, certainly. Yeah. But one thing I think a lot of people maybe haven't really fully taken on board is the amount of away games that the team has played. That's changing now, and there's been a run of 4 wins together in the league now for the Clan. How would you judge Clan season now? What would be for you a good target? Something you'd be happy with, and something you think the Clan are capable of this season?
I still think we're a top 4 team. The season obviously hasn't started the way we did, and we were on the road for the whole month of September. We didn't even get to practice in Braehead, and there's a lot of factors that also went into it. You got a new coach, you got 14 new imports. We didn't have one returning import. A lot of guys who are new to the league. It takes them a while to adjust. It's not just going to happen overnight, and it was tough. It was tough for a month and stuff, and obviously fans are getting frustrated. But there's nobody more frustrated than us, the players. Like we don't like to lose. So the way the team's going now, I think we're starting to find our identity. That was a big one for us. Just figuring out who we were as a team, how we wanted to play and approach each game.
What do you think that identity is now? How would you describe that identity now? There's been some big comebacks in recent games, which shows real character. Yeah,
I think we have a lot of speed, and when we start to play physical, but we're finding ourselves really good in the defensive zone. you know, we're probably not going to go out there looking to blow teams out by 5, 6, 7 goals. Like, we don't mind if we go out and win 3-2. I think our last 3 wins have been by 1 goal.
Yeah.
But it just shows, you know, that we're defensively responsible. And that's a big thing in hockey now. You know, you have to be able to play both ends of the ice. But I think, you know, our team's getting really strong defensively, and we got some good speed. And, you know, if we need to play physical, we can.
And obviously a lot of teams have injuries, but injuries have affected the Clan this season as well. You're injured yourself. Adam Brace has been an injury almost from the start of the season. Now, a lot of the top teams are playing 4-line hockey. Clan are close to that, but with 2 injuries like that, you really are down to 2.5 lines at times, aren't you? What impact does that kind of make, and how close are you and Adam Brace to returning?
Yeah, it's tough on the guys when you're down to sort of 2.5, 3 lines, and teams you're playing against are playing 4. You know, you're going to run out of energy a bit quicker than they are. But then that goes back to the whole, you know, being responsible defensively and just being smart. And, you know, we played 3 games in 3 nights before I get injured. And one of the things, you know, John was even saying on the Friday, like, the way he was having us play was conserving us energy for the next day and the next day as well, because he was conscious we had 3 games in 3 nights. So, you know, it's a tough sport, it's a fast sport, and it takes a toll on your body. So, but the guys have been great, and, you know, they're putting a run together now, and I'm excited to try and get back out there. And I think Brace is not too far away. You know, hopefully it's only a couple of weeks for both of us.
Well, hopefully that'll be pretty soon, enjoying that, like you say, 4-game winning streak, and hopefully see that expand. If you are going to go back into the dressing room and pick some tracks then, just to wrap this up here, it is Rock Sport Radio. What tracks, give us a track that you would have to pick. What kind of band would you go for here? What would you like to hear on Rock Sport, and what are you going to have in the dressing room? Give us a track. What would you go for?
Oasis.
You go for a bit of Oasis? Yeah. You got a particular track?
No, they're all bangers, aren't they?
All of them. You just go for any Oasis. You're a hardcore fan.
Yeah, they're just great.
Oasis for me were one of the bands I blame for me not realising how old I am, because you would chat to like people and they're like, "You're an Oasis." I'm an Oasis fan. But you didn't realise they're like 10 years younger than you until they were telling you the tracks they liked. And I was like, "Oh, not those ones. I want the older ones." Like,
we had actually, it's going to make myself look old now. I didn't think I was that old, but we were talking about Oasis one day, and Jordan Bruessa, who's Oasis?
Oh, Brittle.
Yeah.
Brittle.
And I was just like, how old are you that you don't know who
That's the beauty of music, isn't it? It just lets you know your age every so often, but you still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Craig, thank you very much, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.